Okie dokie, Enlightened Tag. It's not a very enlightened tag, if you ask me, but there it is. I got this from a site you don't want to go to. And I don't know why it was on there. Anyways. Yeah, anywho. What pop culture have you been consuming lately? Mostly horror movies, streaming services, on my streaming services, that is. Yeah, that being mostly on Prime Video, and one of the channels I have for it called Shudder. Yepers. Talk about a home you had as a kid. Okay. The first home I can remember being in was over on 2nd Avenue, the 1200 block, or was it the 1300 block? No, it was the 1200 block. Anyways, it was a small house, and the bedroom was really weird that me and my brother lived in, because my grandma was living with us as well, and my grandma Nicholson was living with us, and she sort of shared the room, but there was a divider built in, and that meant where me and my brother slept had no windows whatsoever, none. We couldn't see outside from there, and we were not allowed to go into grandma's room to look out. So it was kind of a weird situation, and even after grandma died, my mother would flip completely and utterly out if we went in there. She would just know, I guess. She would hear the floor creaking in the right spot, and she would come running up and scream at us, "That's Grandma's room." And saying stuff like, "Grandma's dead," did not help. That did not help the situation whatsoever. So yeah, but the living room had this bookshelf. The whole one wall of the living room was a bookshelf. And my parents had all these encyclopedias and stuff in there and whatnot. I had several times, and I can sort of remember doing this. It's not a clear memory, but it's there. Maybe I've just been told that I've done it so many times that it's an implanted memory. I don't know. But yeah, where I had taken all the books out of the bottom shelf and laid in there for whatever reason. So, yeah. Another memory associated with the house, this is getting to be most of the tag is going to be this dumb question. But anyways, another memory associated with the house was the back stairs had a little hole. And there was just big enough for me to get through. Now, we had a cat, a stray cat that had its litter of kittens under there, right? And I don't know how I didn't get my eyes scratched out by the cat, but I climbed in there and I was playing with the kittens and I fell asleep, okay? And my mother lost her mind because she couldn't find me. I was gone, right? I wasn't supposed to go out of the yard because I was just little, right? And she had taken her eyes off me for like 10 minutes. And I had climbed under there and I was playing with the kittens and I fell asleep. Okay, I just decided to take a nap with the kittens. Like I say, the weirdest part about this is that the stray cat, this feral cat, did not mind the little kid playing with the kittens. It just sat there and let me. So, anyways, Mom was looking for me, and she was crazy with fear that I had been taken or that I had run off and been killed or something. So she was just nuts, right? Finally, I woke up and heard her screaming my name, right? And I remember saying, "Here I is, here I is." This is like literally my earliest memory, okay? And I remember saying, "Here I is." And I remember asking her about it, and she said, "Yeah, that really scared me. That was bad." Anyways, it was a weird place. Anyways, you had to get in the basement, you had to go on the back porch, because there was a separate door in the back of the house to get into the basement. There was no stairs on the inside. Anyways, Number 3, what life lessons have you learned in the past year? Life lessons in the past year that I can be very patient, but I knew that already because I had to be. I've been on disability for like almost 20 years, and no, I haven't been on disability for that long, but I have been disabled, permanently disabled that long, and I haven't been able to work, and I haven't been able to do anything. And for about 15 years now, I haven't owned a car. And I have to rely on other people for transportation and stuff like that. So I can't just up and go someplace anymore. And even if I did have a car, I couldn't afford to run the damn thing, so I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So patience is something that I have. I'm very used to accommodating other people's schedules so that I can get things done. Yeah, anywho, but in the last year, I think it's not a learned lesson in the last year, but it has been underscored because we've been shut in. Last year, anyways, we were shut in, and we couldn't go anywhere at all. Everything was closed. You couldn't go in the store just for fun. You couldn't shop for certain things. It was just hellish, right? But I also learned I could do without a lot of things that I used to like if I had to. That being said, now that I can get all the stuff that I like again, I'm craving chips right now. We'll just put it this way. Well, I'm craving chips right now, and I can't have them because I don't have any money. I don't have any money at all. And I can't afford chips, so I can't have them, and it's going to be another week until I get paid. And I'm just dying for these bloody chips. But speaking of patience, eh? But when I get paid, I bet you I won't want them enough to actually walk a block and get them. That's the whole thing. That's another thing that I've learned recently. That if the more I can't have something, the more I want it. And I think a lot of people, in fact, most people are the same thing. The more you can't have something, the more you want to have it. And the more you can have it, the less likely you are to care that you can. So, yeah. Anyways, this is going to be a long video after 5 questions. Anyways, who in your life has taught you about forgiveness? I don't think it's any one person or any one source of material. I have learned forgiveness for my own selfish reasons. We'll just put it that way. And I think it is in everybody's case, well, almost everybody's case, you learn forgiveness for your own needs. You have to forgive people to move on, and it's something you need for your own sanity. Because if you can't move past people that have done bad things to you, it consumes you. It's the vast majority of your life, and you don't know anything but you don't know anything but that thing that is driving you. It's hard to just live your own life when you're tied up with the past, or you're tied up with a memory that is bad, or you're tied up with loathing for a person. It's just that simple. And once you learn to just say, okay, I forgive them, and it's gone. It's just magically gone. When you can say that to yourself and mean it, that hatred is gone, that anger is gone, that malevolence is gone, that horrible, hideous feeling that drags you down to the gutter, it's gone, and you're free. You're just literally free to move on and just live your life for you instead of for other purposes. You don't live for that stupidity anymore, that anger. It just takes way too much energy. I mean, way too much energy to be angry. And I don't have energy anymore. So I just had to learn forgiveness for my own needs, because I can't maintain the energy of being angry anymore. I just can't. To be honest, in the last 10 years, I can count on one hand how many times I've been truly angry. And even then, it's been momentary. I mean, I've been like flippin' pissed off, right? But it has been momentary. It's only lasted a couple of minutes, 5 minutes at most. And then you just shed it, you let it go, and it's no longer there. And you live with it instead of letting it consume you. You don't forget it, of course. It's not erased from your memory. The hurt is always there, but you're just like not letting it drive you. You're not letting it hurt you anymore. Okay, last question. Name 3 things from your past you would change. Jesus, I wish I gave this some thought before I read the questions. 3 things from my past I would change. Okay, just out of high school, I had the opportunity to go to Africa for 3 years and work building stuff, building schools to be exact. I had the opportunity to do this, and it would have been unpaid work, right? But I would have had the experience of being in a different culture, and I would have had the experience of meeting people that I have known nothing about, basically. And that whole act of giving, that your whole existence for that 3 years is building schools for people to learn in places where the government won't build them, basically, would have been an invaluable thing for the rest of my life. It would have opened doors for me that nothing else would have, for example. But I let my mother talk me into not going because she was afraid to let me go for whatever reason, and I just let her taint that whole idea of sorry about the shaky hands. I let her taint the whole idea of me going, and I gave it up. So the other one was when I was 9 years old, I would not have gone tobogganing ever again, knowing that if I knew that I was going to break my spine. Literally, I fractured my spine, and I was almost crippled. It caused me permanent nerve damage, and it's given me pain for the rest of my life. From the age of 9 on, I've had back pain, like always. It's never gone away. It's there to some degree, no matter what. And after I lost the ability to exercise and do work and stuff like that, and I got soft, basically, it got very much worse. So I would not have ever gone again, and I would not have broken my spine. So that's 2 things I would have changed. What's another one? I never ever would have dated any of my exes. I had 3 serious relationships in my life. All of them lasted about 3 or 4 months, and they turned out to be insane. I'm not saying that because they're my exes and I don't like them. I'm saying it because they were literally insane, and I did not know until a couple of months into the relationship, and it was like, wow, these people are crazy. One of them stalked me for like an entire year. She was sitting on my stupid steps when I came out of my home, and she'd be sitting on my steps waiting for me to go to work and stuff like that. So, you can't get crazier than that. So anyways, this was long after she was told by the police not to come around, and she'd get arrested. She didn't care. It was just insane. It was just literally insane. But yeah, I think those are the three things I would have changed from my past. Y'all have a fabulous day and keep smiling.